This calls to order the Monday, October 27th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting. First item of business is the introduction of our new commissioner, Michael Tamburini. So welcome. Next item of business is the approval of the meeting minutes from the meeting held on September 29th, 2025. Is there any comments or discussion? And if none, would someone like to make a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the minutes as submitted.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Next item of business is item 3, old business, item A, site plan review for 3517 Eastvale Fairway, Kansas, as submitted by D. Lance Larson, property owner. Request exception to green space requirement for an addition and pool. But application has been withdrawn. Okay, next item of business, item B, site plan review for 5500 Canterbury Fairway, Kansas, as submitted by Brian Stanley of James Engel Custom Homes, property owner. Request for new single-family residence with exceptions to the window hierarchy on the site elevations. Basil, will you please provide an updated staff report?
Yes, I'll let my report stand as submitted. The applicant did send some revised drawings. He did change some of the elevation. He's still seeking an exception for the hierarchy. And with the changes he made, the site plan, actually the green space gained 0.1%. And I'm open to questions.
So the exception is for the right and left elevation facades. Is there any other exceptions? Or is that?
No,
Okay.
that's it. And the
Do you wanna-
applicant is here today.
Okay, thank you. Can you just point out to us the two areas of discussion so we're all on the same page? I feel like last time we were all over the place.
So the one location is the left elevation. The questions were regarding the window in the basement above the double windows in the back. So he did align it a little bit, and that's where he moved the window well in the basement, and that's how they gained some of the square footage. And then he did keep where no windows, I mean, he's showing the windows, the 4 windows in the basement. You guys had some question regarding that location.
So that location on the elevation is the hierarchy comment?
That
Okay.
is correct.
And then on the right elevation, is it in regards to the 3 upper windows that don't have a window below them? Or I guess there's 5.
No, it's
sorry.
that single window, there's 2 windows, and then there's a single window in the center of the house.
Okay. Okay. Are there questions for staff or the applicant?
Maybe for the applicant, if they can come forward.
Would you please state your name and address for the record, please?
Jim Engel. My address is 7726 Delmar, Prairie Village, Kansas, 66208.
Yeah, it's just, so last time we reviewed this plan, and it was odd that, I think it's, the floor plan's not in here, but I think it's where the living room is.
Yeah.
There's another floor plan that's very similar to this that has windows there and kind of a, I don't know what like a eave that goes kind of around. And I think part of the exception had to do with that large, or the hierarchy wasn't right, and there was kind of a giant gap and a flat wall there. Is there like a particular design choice why it is that way?
From the interior perspective, there's a fireplace that's centered, and on either side of the fireplace, there's bookcases. That's the end of the living room.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then on the other side is the, like that entryway or something like that? Is there any opportunity to add windows down there, or is there a reason why that's not? I can't tell if I'm looking at this right, oh, that's the garage. Is that the garage?
Yeah, those 3 windows are the garage.
The 3 windows are the garage. The thing behind, so behind that, where there's the 1 window on that big wall
Right,
is the exception, I think, right?
right. That's the prep kitchen window there, and in the back half of that is actually an outdoor living space with another fireplace that's behind that wall.
So there's a fireplace that we can't see.
Correct. Yeah,
It's
there's 2 of them
just not
that
drawn.
you can't see. There's one on the left side and one on the right side.
Is there opportunity to add some kind of feature to that flat wall on the left elevation to, because normally we would require like something to kind of like break up that space, I think.
We could do two like transom windows above the bookcases.
Yeah, I think that's what the other floor plan
Yeah,
had, something
and
like
that's what we had
that.
originally, but we could put those windows back in.
Yeah, because I think we were comparing it, I can't remember what the name of the other floor plan was. It wasn't Norfolk, it was,
Maybe the Aurora, maybe?
maybe it was that, and that's what it
That's
had there.
right, so there was the Aurora, and it's pretty similar with some changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would, because we approved that plan, if I remember right.
That
And
is
it had
correct.
a similar exception, but it kind of made sense. This looks odd with the big giant.
Yeah, we could do, like I said, two transom windows that would line up closer to the two windows above.
Yeah, I think that would be fine for me anyway.
What about the right elevation?
Since it's I didn't realize that was an outdoor space with a fireplace, so
Is the fireplace coming in and out of the page, or is it going to be in that?
On the other side of the wall, so you can't see it from the exterior.
So it's in and out of the page on the right elevation. It's not in the same plane as the right elevation?
Let me see, I've got a floor plan up here if you want to see that.
Yeah, that'd be helpful. Although, we don't have any way to show it up there, do we?
I don't know if there's a way to project it.
So,
or-
we used to have a projector, we
Can
don't
you scan
anymore.
it too?
Sure. We can pass it around.
This window right here is the prep kitchen. The prep kitchen opens up to an outdoor area, and it's got a fireplace that's there.
Oh, so that's it, okay.
So that's that wall that you're looking at.
this is all outdoors in there. It just has a solid wall.
So the fireplace just doesn't show up in this view for some reason, it's just not drawn?
Well,
Well, no, it's on the outside, the backside of the fire.
it doesn't have a chimney.
Right.
I have one like that, just inside the room, yeah.
Oh, I see, okay.
But it's outdoor space, because this is not enclosed.
So it's like an enclosed porch, so the fireplace is facing inside. Chance to see it? You wanna look at it again?
I'll hold on to it.
All right, any other questions for the applicant?
No.
Any discussion?
I was just gonna say, I think if we do those transom windows on that one big wall, the other wall doesn't bother me as much. I think I didn't realize it was an open space, so that, and it's got a lower roof line and some other things in there. I think it's okay for me.
I agree. I'm glad they're willing to accommodate our requests.
Lower windows aligned, so I'm good as well.
Okay, would someone want to make a motion?
So I would make a motion that we approve the plans pending update with the transom windows on the left elevation, and would delegate verification of that to staff.
And we would approve the exceptions.
And, yeah, approve the exceptions, the other exception, I should say.
Is there a second?
Second?
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Next item of business is new business, item 4. Item A, site plan review for 5300 Pawnee Lane, Fairway, Kansas, as submitted by Spencer and Logan Dean, property owners. Request exception to fence location on a corner lot. Basil, will you please provide your staff report?
Again, I'll let my report stand as submitted. It's another corner lot. The applicant submitted the request. It's an existing fence, and they just want to raise it higher to 6 feet. So that's the reason for the exception. Staff does recommend approval. Or, let me correct that, it's not opposed.
How far is it off the street right now?
It's about 14 feet of,
And 12 feet is a requirement, correct?
no, I mean, you can, they can seek an exception up to the property line.
The 12-foot requirement's from the property line, not the curb.
Okay, that's what I get confused by sometimes.
Yep.
Okay.
So you said they want to, it's an existing fence. It's like 4 foot high now and they want to make it 6 foot?
That is correct.
Okay. And you have a picture in here. I'm assuming that shouldn't be a problem from us sight lines or anything like that?
That is
Haven't-
correct.
haven't
They
driven over
submitted an engineering study regarding the site.
Okay. No further comment from me.
Any questions or comments?
Just, I see there's a letter of support from neighbors, Ryan and Leah Humphrey.
That is correct.
Okay.
That's their back neighbors.
Okay, thank you.
If no questions or discussion, does someone want to make a motion?
I make a motion that we approve as submitted.
Is there a second?
Second?
All's in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Next item of business is item B, site plan review for 6018 Buena Vista Street, Fairway, Kansas, as submitted by Adam Anthony Pfeiffer of APD Studios on behalf of Matt Adam Development Company. Property owner requests for a new single-family residence with exceptions to the window hierarchy on front and side elevations. Basil, will you please provide your staff report?
I'll let my report stand as submitted. Again, they're seeking the exception for the window hierarchy. Again, staff is not opposed to the application.
Just so we're on the same page again, will you walk us through where you've noted this?
So it is, hold on a second. So again, the front, you have that one window, they're not lining up with the lower windows, so that's one exception. And the same on the right elevation, so the upper window is not lining up with the lower windows. And then the left elevation, you have those double windows, no windows below it.
Sorry, say that
The
again.
applicant did add shutters because he was not meeting the percentage. So if you see the right elevation, he did add those window shutters to accommodate the percentage for windows.
You said on the left it's because there's no windows below the double window, is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
that's where maybe council can give that's my I don't know your guys' feeling regarding the hierarchy. If you have a second story with windows, I mean, it does say that you need to align it with the lower windows.
Yeah, and again, I mean, that person that was very passionate about that when we added that to the code, I think it was based on a scenario where we had misalignment of windows above and below, or sizes, I can't recall exactly. I don't think we ever discussed this particular scenario, so it's up to the discretion of the team.
Well, this one's kind of in the middle too. It looks like it's on a staircase or something. Like, I don't know that you really could put windows.
Any questions for staff, or is the applicant here? Okay, the applicant's here if we have questions for the applicant. I guess I have one question for the applicant, if you would state your name and address for the record.
Adam Pfeiffer, APD Studios, 12214 West Savannah Terrace in Lenexa, 66215.
So you did add the shutters for just two of the windows. Are you okay with just showing it on two windows and not all the windows?
We had looked at that on that right elevation of the garage, yes. And so the kind of thinking there had to be more of kind of telling the story of the house, so to say. And because of the offsets in the floor plans, stuff like that, to achieve the massing requirements based on the zoning code, it kind of makes more sense that, okay, you have this original home here, which is the main 1.5-story gable in the middle. And then pieces were kind of added on to it over time. And so that's kind of what lingers, or what leads to this compilation of where they're placed right now.
Okay. Any other questions for the applicant?
No.
I guess I don't love just the two shutters, or two windows with shutters. I don't know, does anyone else have any thoughts on that?
Kind of jumped out to me as well.
Rather see on all the windows instead, you think?
Is there, I guess, at this point, you can't add any more window to make up for,
The window itself is pretty limited as to what we can do based on the floor plan on that side with garage and other spaces that are kind of in that area with mudroom and so on and so forth. And that's sort of, so the shutter became the way to kind of balance this and make it come together. Adding additional shutters in an effort to try and balance that more, if that's what you're looking for, that's something that would be a little bit more easy to apply as opposed to, adding additional windows.
or would you be able to do that for all the windows? Or just,
We could certainly look at that for the rest of the windows, just check with the ownership team, make sure they're on board with that.
Are you asking for on that elevation or all windows? I don't think you could on the front of the house, of course.
Yeah, the front would be a little tight with where some of those windows are placed at because of kind of where the two on the porch, the left one is set relatively close to the corner room, kind of again, basing on the plan behind. And then kind of to Basil's point about them not stacking vertically, the porch roof comes out pretty significantly so that when you are kind of only far away where you see that they don't necessarily align top to bottom. And once you get anything closer than, midway through the front yard or even the front sidewalk, you'll never even notice it because that front porch roof comes out so far. And that's the other reason why that porch roof comes out so far, then connect to the garage to kind of exaggerate the depth of that front porch.
I mean, I guess I could be okay with them not on the windows under the porch, or even those two windows that are built into the roof.
Sure.
Because I could see how that, you wouldn't have shutters there necessarily. But if it was my preference, I'd like to see them on any of the flat face surfaces. I mean, another alternative, which I've done actually on my own house, is just creating a false window with, I don't know, we have basically fake shutters over a fake window.
Right.
It's not a real glass window,
That's
but
what we're doing there in the left piece in the garage, correct?
you can make that a little bigger and then it accounts for the opening, essentially.
Yeah, that left one where it's closed shutters on the garage mimics the size and the proportion of all the rest of the windows on that level.
Right, discussion?
No, I think you're concerned about having consistency with respect to a facade is good. I think that's fine. I don't, like I said, I don't think it's necessary that he puts the shutters on every window, but on that facade, I think it's a good idea just to have a consonant display for aesthetic purposes.
I don't personally have an opinion either way. I think it looks okay the way it is, but I also don't disagree. It might make more sense for it to be consistent, so I could go either way. I guess as it relates to the hierarchy, you know, this one on the right, I think, given the shape of the house and all that, I think it's logical, so I'm okay with that. Same on the, I think there was on the front as well, I think it's logical, the way that the house is designed. I have no objection to those hierarchy exceptions.
I would agree. I don't have issues with the hierarchy either.
It would be difficult to add them to areas on like the left elevation or a few others to where you'd still end up with a hodgepodge of shutters and no shutters, so.
What percentage are you at if you don't have the shutters?
I think we read,
He was about
was it
8
or
point
9,
something,
like that.
so he was way off.
We were off by an amount, yeah.
Because it's 15's the requirement, right?
That's correct. So they were off, I think, 80
think we were
square
like-
feet or 75 square feet.
I think we were 8.8% or somewhere in there, and it ended up being, yeah, like 65 or 75 square feet, something like that. So effectively, 2 windows is really about what it ended up being.
So then you added this kind of
Yeah.
fake window plus the,
And we did the shutters on the top, and then we added the shutters to the window on the right, correct?
are you asking because you're like, what if we just removed them?
I mean, I would rather remove those 4 shutters than, yeah, it just,
I think, I kind of,
8% is kind of low, but,
well, he's got the other fake window there, so it's probably more like 12%
And
if
it
you
is-
took those
It
shutters
is kind
off.
of tricky on this side because of the screened-in porch and the kind of 1.5
Yeah.
story primary mass as opposed to a 2-story. And I know that's kind of where it comes into play, the hierarchy, you know, with windows stacking and small, upper windows being smaller and so on and so forth. But when all of a sudden you run into the situation of where you have a 1.5-story main mass, you can't really do this because all of a sudden you start clipping into your rafters. So
Yeah,
the kind of traditional, or typological, approach is this kind of one window centered and then they split apart. I know Boswell and I've had that discussion on several other houses before. It's just kind of one of those things, a product of the
I mean,
zoning
so
code
if
that
we
exists right now.
if we let you have a window upstairs that wasn't hierarchical, is that the right word? I mean, if it was larger or something,
Hierarchical, yeah.
would that solve your problem?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
If the window was able to get bigger upstairs and didn't necessarily match the windows below, would that work?
So right now, that window is actually in a toilet room and a bathroom. So we're right up against the wall. We're kind of 4 inches off of that wall without the ability to kind of finagle that plan behind there because it's just where the fitment of everything.
Okay,
And I'd much rather see that thing remain centered on the ridge like it is, then all of a sudden, as soon as it moves off that ridge, it starts to look more like an accident than it does.
yeah, agreed.
here's what I would say.
Sure.
Remove the shutters from the first floor window, leave them on the second floor window, and we grant an exception for less than 15%.
Are you thinking the shutters on the rear?
The one on the right,
Okay.
yeah, the very
But
far
then
right,
keep the
take
kind of
those out.
closed for the garage.
Yeah, keep the one on the left.
Okay.
Keep the upstairs the way it is.
What's the architect think in the group?
I could do that, yeah. I like that. Seems like a good compromise.
Yeah.
I think it,
Then Wendy's happy
sense.
and
Just think about the future neighbors that are sitting out there staring at it, like, why is there shutters on some windows and not others?
The screened-in porch certainly gives a lot of visual porosity to the thing that you wouldn't have if it was wall. So it kind of becomes a chicken and the egg almost.
That's fair. Okay, are there any other discussions on the hierarchy of the windows themselves, the exceptions that are being requested?
So kind of consensus so far, keep the closed ones on the left, keep the ones in the gable at the top, skip the ones on the far right. Fair enough?
that's what I would suggest. If I were to make a motion, that's what it would say.
Is there any other discussion before Rourke makes a motion?
This is gonna be kind of a hard one. Do you want me
So
to?
you need to add in the exception that we're proposing.
Yeah, okay. All right, let me give it a try. So, I make a motion that we approve the plans with changes being made to the right hierarchy to remove the shutters from the rearmost window and approve the exception for the window hierarchy, and in addition, approve an exception for the space allotment of the windows
Could be less than 15%.
can be less than 15%.
Anna, does that work? Okay. Is there a second?
Second?
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Thank you. All right, moving on. Item C, review planning commission bylaws. Does someone have a staff report? Is there any report to share with us?
Just that they're same as last year.
So no changes? Is there any discussion?
This is just because we have to approve them every year, right? I have no
Simply so.
I have no
'Cause Abby
comment.
realized that last year and was like, why aren't we approving these every year?
Yeah, and then I also unfortunately missed it for this year and realized it was supposed to happen in June. So I did put it on for October. Yes.
Okay.
That is one change we could make if you wanted to remove the annual review requirement, because you don't have to look at those every year. I mean, that's the comprehensive plan you do have to look at every year, but there's no statutory requirement that your bylaws be reviewed every year. So that's a potential change if you want.
Have we reviewed the comprehensive plan this year?
We do that at the end of the year in December. Yep.
How much work would it be for you to update that and then us table it and move it to the next month?
That's no problem.
An option if we want to do that?
Yeah, any changes that you'd want, we could update for next time.
Or we could just move it to whenever we do the comprehensive plan. We could do it all at once. If that makes it easier on you. If it's
Yeah.
not easier, then that's okay too.
We could do that.
I have no problem with that.
And that's in December meeting, we do that?
Yes.
Which, to be clear, I believe that is like December 28th, right?
I do not know the date.
It's
off
in
the top of my
between the
head.
holidays though, right?
Yeah. Typically, we try to do that the end of the year, usually winter time. The agenda is not as large. That's why the comprehensive plan, I think, was put on December. And then, yeah, we could add this to it as well.
29th.
I will not be here the 29th, so I just want to make that known now in case we have issues with quorum. Could be an issue that time of year, so.
While we're speaking dates, when is the November meeting? Is that
The 24th.
that's the Monday before Thanksgiving as well?
Yes.
So if you're unavailable at that date also, please let them know.
Yes, and we do have applications for that.
All right, so does someone want to make a motion to either approve or ask staff to make an update and then we'll approve them at the next, or at the December meeting?
I will make said motion.
Which one? I said both.
Okay. Repeat.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Repeat which motion. yeah,
Okay, are we proposing to edit them or are we proposing to just approve them?
I propose we approve them.
Second?
All right, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. It's approved. All right, next item of business is the next meeting date is November 24th, 2025, which we have a few applications. That's also the week of Thanksgiving, so if you're unavailable, please notify staff. Last item of business is a motion to adjourn. Is there a motion? Second?
Second?
Oh, all in favor? Aye.
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 Meeting adjourned.